today's video, you will learn how to convert text into gold, a sort of Midas touch. And if you watch this video to the end, I've included 4 very time-saving tips. While this is not real gold, remember the quote, "All that glitter is not gold," you may be able to make a fortune in gold perhaps. Using it on client projects because this classical gold effect is typically used in movie trailers and posters. While there's a boatload of videos on YouTube on how to create this effect, many of them do not tell you why they're doing specific steps, which leaves you at a loss. I will give you a fast and easy way to create it in a few process steps. Emphasis on the word process. Then once you create it, you can save it as a style and apply it with a single click to any text. This module is part 6 of a multi-part Photoshop Essentials Made Easy series. The goal of this series, however, is not to create pixel-perfect images, but rather to create classical effects without getting caught up in the weeds. Open your version of Photoshop if you would like to follow along, and let's get started. Process step 1. Set the stage for the gold effect. Create a new document of your desired dimension with a black background. Press the T key to activate the Type tool and create a large white text in all caps using a serif font. To keep it simple, I will use the Times New Roman bold serif font because all users will have this font on a Mac or a PC. The black background will help the gold to shine, and the serif font, the serif font, will help to highlight the gold edges of the text, as we will soon see. Select the text layer, press the Command or Control key and T to see the free transformation handles. Resize the text and position it in the center of the canvas. Then convert the text layer to a smart object. You will see the reason for converting this text layer into a smart object later. Process step 2. Apply gradient overlay. We will give the text a gold gradient overlay. Double-click the text layer to open the Layer Style dialog box and select the Gradient Overlay blending option. Or click the FX icon at the bottom of the Layers panel and choose Gradient Overlay to open up this same Layer Style dialog box, but this time to automatically select the Gradient Overlay blending option. Click the Gradient Swatch, and in the Gradient Editor dialog box that appears, double-click on the first color stop, and in the Color Picker dialog box that appears, set the hex value to F7EEAD, and then click the OK button. Double-click the last color stop, and in the Color Picker dialog box that appears, set the hex value to C1AC51, and then click the OK button. Click the OK button in the Gradient Editor dialog box to close it. In the Layer Style dialog box, change the style to reflect the gradient to the top and the bottom of the text. Now, while this is a lovely gold effect, I refer to this as a $9 an hour job. We want to get paid a $90 an hour job, don't we? So let's improve on this in the next step. Process step 3. Let's give the text a 3D look. Back in the Layer Style dialog box that is still open, click the Bevel and Emboss blending option, and then Set the technique to chisel hard to give the text a wood-like chisel effect. Set the following options to your liking. Set the depth to increase the size of the chisel effect. Set the size to give the chisel effect a more 3D look. Set the angle to change the lighting effect angle. And set the gloss contour to enhance the gloss effect. And then click the anti-alias checkbox to smooth the edges. Experiment with the other settings if you like, and then click the OK button to commit all changes. We have just completed a gold effect in a few process steps. However, as promised, I have 4 bonuses to make your day, or should I say, your week. Bonus number 1. Change the text or font without redoing the gold effect. Now you will see why I converted the text to a smart object earlier. Double-click the thumbnail to open the smart object in its own tab. Double-click the thumbnail again and change the text or the font to whatever you want on the canvas. Click the commit icon at the top of the screen to commit the changes. If necessary, press the C key to activate the crop tool. Resize the canvas to fit the text, and then double-click the text to commit the crop. Select File, Save, to save the smart object, and then close the tab to return to the original file. And let the magic begin. This is the title of my upcoming book. Notice how the gold effect is now automatically, one of my favorite words, applied to the new text without having to redo the gold effect process steps again. How cool is that? Click the V key to activate the Move tool and adjust any settings to your liking, as we have done earlier. Bonus 2. Save the gold effect as a custom style. To not reinvent the wheel, you can save the gold effect as a custom style so it can be reused in future projects. With the text layer selected, open the Styles panel, click the Create New Style button, and in a New Style dialog box that appears, give the style a name. Select all the check boxes and then click the OK button. First, let us move the current text to create space for some new text above it. Click the newly created style to apply it to the newly created text. And let the magic begin again. Close the Styles panel. Notice how the process steps you completed earlier got applied to the new text with a single click. How cool is that? Bonus 3. Convert gold into silver. What if you wanted to convert your gold into silver? Well, that's easy to do. Double-click the text layer to open the Layer Style dialog box. Click the Gradient Overlay Blending Mode option. Click the Go Gradient Swatch, and in the Gradient Editor dialog box that appears, double-click each stop color and change them to white. Click the OK button in the Gradient Editor dialog box to close it. And then click the OK button in the Layer Style dialog box to close it as well. There you have it, silver and gold. Sing it with me now. Silver and gold, silver and gold. Just kidding. Anyway, let's go to bonus 4. Add a few highlights to enhance the gold effect. You can add a few sparkles to enhance the gold effect. This is only for you overachievers. Click the Create a New Layer icon to add a new layer above the text layer. Press the B key to activate the brush tool. Right-click on the canvas, click the gear icon, select Legacy Brushes, and then click the OK button. Click the Brush Settings panel icon and then select the Brushes tab. Open the Legacy Brushes and the Assorted Brushes folder, then click the crosshash for brush, and then close the Brushes panel. If necessary, use the left and right square brackets keys to change the brush size to a smaller brush stroke. Press and hold the Alt or Option key to temporarily switch to the eyedropper tool. Sample a light gold color from the text and then release the key to return to the brush tool. Click a few times, with emphasis on the word few, in the gold text to apply the sparkle effect to create silver highlights. Repeat the previous step if you want to do it for the silver text, but change the brush stroke color to white. If you watched this video to the end, you deserve a gold trophy and a gold star. You should be very proud of yourself. If you have a classical effect that you would like me to demo, or if you have any questions, share them in the comments below. Click the link below if you want detailed information on my recently released training entitled Unmasking the Mystery of the Mask. If you're new to this channel, click the like, subscribe, and notification button so that you don't miss any videos like this one, and to help me promote this channel. Thanks for your thoughtful consideration in advance. And remember to share this video with your family, your friends, your enemies, your neighbors, your co-workers, your in-laws, and most of all, your outlaws.